there in YouTube land and Facebook land and just the universe I call the digital world we're coming into. So, welcome to Miner's Madness myself. As I sit on this train of thought. What do we got? We have replication or immortality. Replication, immortality is all. See how fast the conductor tries to get away with this train. It's ridiculous. I swear to my Lanta talking about thought. Check this out. Very quiet. Psh, psh. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Inside voice. You want to come here? Well, come here then. Alright, hold on 1 second, James, while I go and get that bird. Talking to myself. Yeah, beat that one out. Oh, come here. There we go. Up to the land of happiness. Oh, right there. There you go. Say hello, world. Hello, world. You say hello? Say hello. This is Kiwi's bottle. She truly enjoys and loves, as you can tell. Gabba, 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 gabba. Gabba, gabba. I'd like to thank you for stopping by onto our channel. We hope you like the content that we have put out there. We hope you like the content to come. One of the first things I'd like to do is point out that they're at the top of the one of them sides. Top is a video link. If you comment on that video link, you get yourself put in for a chance for a random comment picker for this here puppy. Which, what do you mean power off? Why are you powering off? Well, forget it. I don't even know if it's gonna work this way or not. Now I'm yelling. What happened? Oh, I know what happened. I bet you. Let's see. See this coin right here. Let's see. Oh, check this out. That's why. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, we're getting this figured out. Don't worry. The sound's probably all crazy. And just look at this. Just pay attention to that. Don't pay attention to me. No wonder why it said power off. Power off because it wasn't connecting. Hello, world. Are you back? And in case you're coming back, look. So this here is an 1880 $5 gold piece from the Forest Friends Thrill of the Chase. And it's being given away for a comment picker on that video. Like I said, that's at the top of the chat. The reason for that is to help raise awareness to mental health and suicide prevention and other things. So, Kiwi, part of replication, reproduction, and or immortality, there's different ways of looking at it. I mean, in a sense, Forrest Fenn, he wrote The Thrill of the Chase, you know, trying to leave his stamp of who he was and his history and his immortality. The immortality that is the Forrest Fenn that is remembered in the minds of others all over the place, right? Are we getting this train rolling yet or not? No. Because it's it goes with, well, what does this stuff have to do with me? Well, I mean, part of that coin giving away is before I started The Thrill of the Chase, I was going through my own little life struggles and stuff, and trying to figure out what happiness was, you know. And I was trying to consume my time with different things like mining and metal detecting. This is kind of in this book right here. Using what Forrest Fenn wrote in the style he wrote in The Thrill of the Chase, with the idea and perspective that I'm trying to share of my universe, there were other things working out. And so, I mean, part of that is looking at other treasure hunts, which, oh, by the way, there's this book called Pioneer Gold has got some coins on here that were somehow mislaid at Fed Rock, as it's called, at 9 Mile Hole on the Madison River in Yellowstone. And in the case of that, there's always the function at the junction. We hope to see people there this year and many years to come, hopefully. With even that story comes the story I'm writing now, which is Beyond the Thrill of the Chase. This here is the YouTube version, all the stuff that I'm talking about. I'm gonna maybe think about transcribing it into here before I continue working on the book itself, which people have seen the cover. It's right there on that video link if you check it out. Again, for your chance to get a coin, that was part of the thrill of the chase. So I mean, and you can kind of see here that there's a for me either a full circle or an infinity thing. And when I say infinity, it's like, well, I can either be a full circle or be infinite as immortality in a sense. Kind of like Forrest writing his book and his stories by doing the same thing for myself. Nobody's going to write a story worth reading or do something worth doing if I haven't done those same things, you know. I think it's Benjamin Franklin. It's Benjamin Franklin Key that says, you know, do something worth writing or read something worth doing or something like that, which is, I've kind of held that dear. It's like, that's kind of like what Forrest Fenn was alluding to, you know. He wished he could have done the things that he was attributed to, and it's like, well, I have now the opportunity and the mindset to try to incorporate not just life as it is now, or as it was in the past, or how it could be in the future, and just trying to meld it all together and still be in the now. What do you mean power off? How about this one? Is this power on? Oh, I left it. Did it disconnect from there again? It probably did. So which means I'm probably just yelling to myself. Which, if you're in the chat and you can hear me, does it sound like I'm just yelling really loud and being obnoxious? For some reason my headsets decided they didn't want to work today. Which is okay. Not really, because then I got the, I'll say a guest. Though is it really a guest? It's all a matter of perspective. Which will give us kind of a little open eyesight to more of what I'm talking about when I talk about the replication or immortality as cells, as us as humans, as people that we look to, like Forrest Fenn or other people. Yeah, but see, when I go to, when you hear somebody else yapping, you gotta let me know if I gotta go up or down, if you know what I mean. I was doing some tests earlier today. Okay, so we're stopping by the buffet cart right here of confusion. Earlier today I was doing like several tests trying to figure out, you know, like the camera and, you know, because it's really the phone doing its thing and it's right there in the middle of me and other tools and devices to help spread my brain pattern. Not Kiwi. And so it was just, makes me wonder what it's going to be like. Oh my Lanta! Can I help you out? Are you thirsty? You want some water? You want some water? Here, come get a drink. Are you thirsty? So I try to... Anyway, let's get back rolling. Rolling, take 18,000. So the idea is, did Forrest use some of that knowledge and wisdom that he gained as a treasure trove, in a sense, in the poem of, you know, he's left a chest, now go in peace, but he also left a trove, and I think it could also interpret as he left a trove of knowledge, in the sense, the stories that he shared and what we learn along the way. I mean, is more valuable than the gold in the box, which happens to be one little piece of it right here, which make you comment on that video, share it so more people can have a chance. Otherwise, it's 114,000 people comment on a video. I know it's possible. I mean, there's people that are getting like 1 million subscribers. It takes them like years, but it's possible. But it's like part of that infinite flow in time, if there's such a thing, you know. See, it's the dancing coin. You want to chew on it? You want to ring it? Look at it. Chew on the sticker. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. You degrade the value of it and the purpose. And I'm trying to teach Kiwi inside voice, and then, so this is sign language for and then. It's I don't know if you can see that, and then. And then I got it down to, you know, Kiwi. Notice what does Kiwi want? Now saddle up, make a mess. Come here. Come here. Up. Come on. You're disturbing my brain pattern here. What is it? What down there? Well, fine, but you can't have this. This is for a lucky winner. Oh, you want some food? Well, why didn't you say you were hungry? I'll tell you what, I'll hook you up with the big old shebang. Here you go. Eat to your heart's content. Come on, there you go, right there. Yep. You could have just said, I'm hungry. I am hungry. And you would have had that way sooner. Way sooner. There you go. I'll give you some more. Keep you there occupied. Oh, you can see you're being occupied. Awesome. So I do have this, so let me know in the chat. Well, I wonder if Street's in here yet. But, I mean, it goes along with animals. So, like, trying to teach Kiwi sign language and words is part of that replication and that immortality. It's the passing of information through generations via one form or another, which is interesting because there was a question out the other day on whether or not do animals think or are they just instinctive? And I would have to argue that they're both. I mean, for instance, where's your dog? Hold on. One second. I gotta introduce you. Get your come on. Get on there. Now do your business. Now do your business. Do your business. Go potty. So, Kiwi has a toilet. Now, instinctively, as an animal, her first instinct is to find anything. Oh my goodness gracious. Do you gotta go in the other room? Like, seriously. Not what? Do you need to go to your perch? What does it say perch? You want couch? Say couch. People have got to stand around and listen to you yelling. Now you figure out what you want, and I'll help you along. You ready? Go to where you want to go. Well, I wish you could have seen that, but Kiwi decided she wanted to go fly that way, over to her perch, past her perch, in a circle, past her perch again, over to the couch, just to land on the couch. So with that, I beg your forgiveness. 1 second. Get over here. Come on. So, is my train of thought worth even thinking? How can a person, any individual, look at their self and affect the future? And I think it's possible, but it would have to take the right person, you know? And there's ways it's been done. And after you hear this little bit of whatever I'm about to catch my drift, that it makes it makes one think to themselves, like me. I thought to myself, well, how can I do it? You know, is it possible to affect other people, not just by action, but by passive action? And you know, when you think about what bird, you're in your couch. Thank you. Oh, my lantern. That water bottle. Boy, who doesn't like hanging out with a bird that won't be quiet? Now get in your couch. I'm right here. Get in there. I tell you. If she wasn't so darn cute. Kid. Anyhow. To kind of help, I like using movies and music to kind of bring a different perspective to my life on how to grow as a person and individual. And so, part of that, I'm going to hit this here. I hope if it's too loud, let me know. Just tell me to turn it down a little bit.
For primitive beings like us, life seems to have only one single purpose: gaining time. And it is going through time seems to be also the only real purpose of each of the cells in our bodies. To achieve that aim, the mass of the cells that make up earthworms and human beings has only two solutions: be immortal or to reproduce. If its habitat is not sufficiently favorable or nurturing,
Oh, that's a lot of destruction right there.
the cell will choose immortality. In other words, self-sufficiency and self-management. On the other hand, if the habitat is favorable,
Lush, green, water flowing, just beautiful.
they will choose to reproduce.
Oh, my lantern. A bunch of animal going on humping. Birds, beasts, frogs, humans.
That way, when they die, they hand down essential information and knowledge to the next cell, which hands it down to the next cell, and so on.
Reproduction, our kids. Teaching them things.
Thus, knowledge and learning are handed down through time.
So, now that you hung a lot around for that little bit, I'm going to try to turn you around the other way so that I can just kind of do a little bit more discussing on the whole replication and immortality just a little bit longer, and how just, you know, a few of these things kind of tie in. I mean, it ties in, and this Miner's Madness is my universe, and I thank you so much for stopping by. I mean, I really do. I appreciate it. But I hope that somebody can take something away from it. If not, that's okay. We don't mind. So I'm gonna make you get all bouncy. So you might want to close your eyes for just a few minutes. As I sit there and try to, I have to turn you around and redo this so that so that it's better for you guys. Because I was trying to do like a whiteboard idea. So Kiwi was hanging out earlier today, and she decided she didn't want to hang out anymore. Oh, bouncy, sorry. Give it a once up. It's not wanting to sit right. We'll do that. Let's see. Oh, there you go. All right. Nope. Seconds. How about that one? So this had a bunch of ridges on the inside of it. So I was trying to was trying to fix it so that it wasn't, oh, I could go a little bit bigger for you guys. I like that, so you can see a little bit more. Just, because who doesn't like hanging out? Oh, wait, no, that's it? That's as far as we can go? Oh, whoa! Oh, my Lanta. How about right there? How's that working? Oh, my Lanta, that looks like it's too big now. Yep. Alright, I'll shrink it back down a little bit. But anyway, you see that there in the center is me? Think about yourself there in the center, you know? Ooh, oh, right there. We'll go with that one. That looked good. So what does this got to do with half of the stuff that you're dealing with when you have forest fed? So you think about forest fed, he did what he wanted to do, and he kind of wanted to, I guess in a sense, be in control of his destiny, and even, why not try to affect other people's futures? And it's like, well, why? I mean, that's possible, why not, right? I mean, is that too crazy of a thought to sit there and want to try to influence somebody else's future in a positive way or a negative way? Because it does, I mean, as me being the center, I have to have power and control over myself, but I don't necessarily have to have power and control over anything outside of me, because I really don't. Right? No, I can only control me, my emotions, my thoughts. But along that, is currency. The things that we use to trade, to include our time to keep us busy, and the things we do, even nowadays, because everything's being more simplified, you know. But how are you gonna keep yourself protected in your security? And this goes with information. You know, the Forrest made sure and secured a piece of himself in the things he's done, so that he can affect the future of other people, because he's already affected the past of others. And so the people in the present, whether, you know, what they do with it or not, is part of that immortality essence or perspective. Kind of like cells passing information, one way or another, because I guess the goal is either be all existent, or at least pass the information to become all existent. And the only way that happens is just, for us, it was the evolution of communication, which would happen to be, wow, hold on. Let me pull this up for you so you can see that. Oh, can you read that? It says, don't mind the spelling, because I haven't evolved to learn how to spell check myself, and that's quite okay, because obviously evolution of communication is key to future killing. I'm going to learn how to spell not, but, so the oh, you can't, okay, keep your things in the way. I'll move you back a little bit. You're not even using it. Here. Just a little bit. Because you're being good. You're being quiet. And I really appreciate it. Because my diary needs to hear myself think. So that when I talk to myself in another perspective, it's not the same thing as talking to myself. See, there's that part of a discussion some other point. So, can I answer some of the things in the future to myself by, you know, making recordings and stuff like that? I would have to say, yeah, you know. You plan out a plan that you're going to do in the future, you describe it, you write it out, draw it out, whatever. And then you can play it back when you go at that point in time to do that project. You know, you've sat there and told your future to yourself on how to solve some of the problems you come across. Which is okay. So, how is this even relevant to what Forrest Fenn did, or myself, or even that video clip? I mean, in order for our species to evolve, we have to have information passed along so that we can become better protectors of ourselves, better self-sustaining for the self in whole, which I think is important. I wouldn't have even dug into this kind of information had I not sit there. Can you imagine if I had a touch screen? That would be really cool. It's not working. So I do it this way. So I had to sit there and kind of look at Forrest Fenn on the basics of his who, what, where, when, and whys, on why I think he was trying to leave, if anything more than just a treasure box full of gold in the mountains somewhere. Through digging through the information that he's left, it has caused me to dig for more information beyond him and even into myself. So then it becomes questions of about me. Who am I? You know, what have I done? You know, where have I been? And again, it comes to that same thought of, are we reproducing stuff like books? Oh, go back the other way. You lie me. Or YouTube videos, little shorts that people do, TikToks, Instagrams, Facebook, all the social medias and medias and stuff like that, is we're reproducing the information that we want shared. Some are louder than others, and you know, I hope that a voice gets louder than others. But anyhow, train of thought starting to derail. Watch out, crossing guards coming down. I had, how do I, instead of try to reproduce with my kids, which there's no more having kids. There's, or for now anyway, there's our family members, and their kids and grandkids and stuff like that. It's, well, how do you go beyond that if you're trying to pass who you are and make yourself live in an immortality sense by writing stories and making videos and stuff and pictures and whatnot of yourself, so that in a world that we live in now, as a sense of physical stuff, you can touch this. I can touch this picture, you know what I mean? The router, so I can touch the TV. It's a physical sense of the energy that we're touching, even though we're never really touching anything. There's, between all the atoms, there's almost a electromagnetism force that keeps them repelled. So everything really truly just kind of glides along itself, which is a whole other type of train of thought. But if this reality can be copied, which I believe it is and has been, with all the different cameras and ways of recording people talking and moving and blah, blah, blah. Technology, the advancements, which is part of the evolution of communication. Learning how to be, I guess, symbiotic with yourself, with nature, the world, and with people. And it comes to like certain patterns in my brain that, to kind of put it in a sense, these YouTube diaries of mine that I have started is, I don't have enough room on whiteboards in my brain shed to sit there and keep all this stuff down, so I've decided to go digital with it. So I'm creating a digital version of myself explaining some of the things that I have written down so that lasts a little bit longer. Then when somebody goes in there and tears this down, at least I know digitally that my thoughts and ideas were able to live a little bit longer in a digital world beyond my own passing or my grandkids, etc. It's out there now. It's out there now. So I had to figure, along the path. Now this is gonna be of no consequence to anybody because I mean now this is just me rambling. But for another treasure hunt that I was doing, Pioneer Gold in the Lost Padre mine, I had to figure out a perspective of how money and control over the who, what, where's, and whys of the Spanish Empire as they were colonizing into Central and North and South America, that it made me wonder and think about the things that I, might be leaving behind or don't leave behind. It's like, well, how do you keep your family protected, with the least liability? And with the thrill of the chase and the finder or retriever, it brought to light another sense of how you can look at your life and change your future. Well, see, if anybody's interested, at one point in time I tried to show my shed and it didn't work out. But on the right side of my wall, I have this piece of paper and a whiteboard behind, two whiteboards behind there. But it kind of showed me like who I was looking at and why I was looking at it. And it kind of drew, so there's me in the center, and I was trying to look at the past and how the evolution of communication was changing. And I know there's one thing that was always constant is you always got colors that are constant, you got music that's always a constant thing, and then air, food, and water that's a constant. Keep yourself warm. Those are simple, constant things that are reproduced and shared informationally wise so that its species of whatever kind can survive if it's not fit for the immortality capability, which I think with digital universe or era that we're coming into, that makes it easier. But I mean, looking for the Lost Padre mine, I was following back to, I wrote down planes, autos, trains, wagons, watercraft, horses, and then human feet would probably be over here. But I was looking at how they were using trade and currency throughout the different countries, That one side used more common basic need things versus another society needing some type of other material thing to survive, to buy the basic need things. And it's like, if you take control away from societies where they can't get their basic needs and they have to rely on another source, then if that source is creating a type of currency to control them, I mean, that's what I've seen kind of happen along this exploration of mine. What else? Oh, let's see. And it goes along with, that's probably about as big as I can get it. Part of sharing communication and sharing the information that we have as people on the things that we've learned so that we can hopefully help somebody else make their life a little bit easier is part of also that immortality mindset of what can you do now to affect the future of somebody else if they were to think about you, so that they'll be better equipped to help themselves. And Morse code is just part of that basic evolution of communication on how to get messages across and information across from distances. And when the flow of information, I guess, or education materials and stuff like that, the speed in which people can acquire information has changed. The distances have changed. I mean, books, you go to a library, or you have to go to another library in a whole different state, or visit a whole other side of the country just to go learn about that history if you want to get boots on the ground about it. So now you can just Google Earth it and Wikipedia it, and now all of a sudden you're a scholar and you can be the president of a university and teach a bunch of people what you learned from the internet, because everything from the internet is true. Yeah, 100%. I'm just kidding. So don't believe anything I say. I'm just saying that when I was trying to look at who I was as a person, what maybe kind of information or treasure trove that Forrest Fenn was trying to share or spread, caused me to think beyond myself on how I can be effective. And through certain words and learning words and definitions, I mean, I started looking up the words of existence and the universe and reality and emotions, and part of that come up singularity, and it makes you wonder, it makes me wonder, what portion of a singularity are we the very most basic atom of atoms to coalesce to be able to create this machine that's self-sustaining and self-replicating? Because we are, if you think about it, every time, as people we reproduce, we're reproducing the information, not just, I mean, you got genetics, but also in the mind, what the mind is taught from the external world. And the ability to pass that on through the schools and stuff like that. There's different ways of doing it. And I know it's changed from when I've went to school to what's being taught now, and it's like, just the sidetrack, here's a drink for you, is they're trying to teach kids 3 to 7-year-old on world growth, economics, and I hate to almost say political views. And the mind is such an impressionable thing at such a young age. It's barely learning the things around it, let alone around its own yard, around its own neighborhood, around its own city, state. That's a lot of information to try to push into something that's growing to learn from the information that we're teaching it. And so, that's part of that immortality. It's like, what ideas and thoughts are out there that is, maybe hurting the younger generations and stuff, versus fostering them to be better, to make it better for themselves in the whole. Part of the thrill of the chase was getting out there in that adventuring, but looking up words and stuff, it brought up this thing of singularity, and it wasn't until today when I was thinking that it's, in a sense, everybody, their heart is palpitating, it's vibrating, it's creating a frequency. The electrical impulses in your mind that are firing, they're creating a frequency. And maybe, however, seconds or whatever, split seconds, but it's still creating frequencies. To attune our body to learn how to speak about the things we learn is using a vocal frequency that people can hear. A side of that frequency that our bodies can palpitate, that people can feel. So when you have and I was looking at this from a satellite point of view because of Independence Day, and it's like the best way, besides it's only going to happen, and it'll start with one, but it keeps branching out until you get to the whole. But it started dawning on me that even though there's other people who have made this is a total different this is a singularity thing versus kind of what I'm talking about, immortality and reproduction or reproducing. Because in this essence, it would be the person whose idea that they wanted to reproduce, and in order for it to become almost immortality, that idea would have to reach 100% of the whole and have it all vibrate on the same frequency. Because as now, I mean, different people have different ideas and they're going to different heights, and so you have this unbelievably controllable form of wave patterns going out there. But if you're able to kind of get it in tune with the surroundings or whatever, or with an idea that maybe it all could get in sync somehow, like light and music. When you think about the color blue, I mean that's a form of wavelength that you're seeing that is in tune to a color blue that we see. I mean, these are just some of the things that I learned along the way that I don't know what I'm talking about. My wife always says I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's okay. So when I talk to myself, I'm just relaying and teaching information to myself that may or may not be true, but at least I like the idea that I like, because that's why I'm sharing it. I mean, people share, like my neighbors said to me that people share 5% of what they feel is most important to them. This just happens to be just 5% of the stuff that I've learned that I feel kind of is important to me on how if one person like Forrest Fenn or Jesus or God or Caesar or Napoleon or whoever, Martin Luther King, I mean, pick any person out there, and I say person, not race or religion or their sex or gender, or this, a person. Pick any person out there whose wavelength has tried to been that of equal or greater than a negative wavelength, and try to get people in tune to an idea. And it's amazing to think that, well, what are the possibilities? And I'm not saying it's possible for me at all. I'm barely saving myself, let alone trying to save anybody else. That's not my idea or intention or purpose. This is just me for myself, so I have something to look back on in case I get old and senile, and I'm like, I need something to do with my day. Oh, let me look at my old videos. Kiwi, look how young you are. And she'd be like sitting on my shoulder, stuffed with her wing out. You know what I mean? Hopefully she don't get, passed before me, but you never know what happens. But I mean, that's part of, are we here for a minute? Are we coming onto this stage, playing a part of our woes and worries, our victimization, our traumas, our good things, our accomplishments, our joys, our loves in our lives, our passions? Are we only here for that split second? Or do we have the capability, which I think we all do, to change and do more than what we think is capable? Because our mind can create some of the most impossible situations and be able to come up with possible solutions on how to overcome them, And so, if Forrest Fenn can sit there and try to take that and run with the information that he's learned and make a story with some breadcrumbs and a poem and lead you to a place, then I think, why can't I, So Miner's Madness is just a video diary of what Beyond the Thrill of the Chase has been and is and could be for me, in the future. And part of even that story is the coin, and it's nothing in particular, it's just a coin from the Thrill of the Chase, but it's a hunt that I was on with more than one people who share the same interests. which share the same information and knowledge, which is passing on their life perspective and their immortality and stuff like that. Oh, I totally know where I sidecarded earlier, like way off track. And so like, just to kind of like earlier today, if there's anybody still playing to watch or whatnot, there was discussion about and so like the book I'm writing, The Thrill of Chase, it's my memories of the things I've been through, etc. But I mean that coin is on the cover of my book, so it's like for me, there's a reason, there's a rhyme and a reason for everything, and it would behoove me not take any advantage I can, and so I'm just trying to be smart. I mean that's just the way of life. But there was also like this right here. So this is a perspective I look at when I think about myself nowadays, past, present, and how to change, affect, but still be in the now. Oh, it's just a brain thought of mine. Don't worry, we'll get past that. We'll get past that. So Spanish colonization, we were talking about that earlier on somebody else's channel. Indy, thanks for having us on. But aside that was the conquest that they were looking. So they were getting wiped out from Central America, heading from east to west. So if they're choking off their escape route down south, in my opinion, then their next goal is to go north. With that being said, there's this map, right? We'll go with this one right here. No, not that one. That one's circle. We'll do that one. So, oh, it's all blurry for you. Let me try a different one. There, we go with that one. So if they're escaping from Central America, being choked off from this point right here, they don't, the Mayans, the Incas, and the Aztecs, they don't have much wiggle room to go south. So the next plausible answer is to go north. And as you go along north, the coastline, here's California, and here's that inlet or whatever. Can I help you, bird? What doing? I'm talking to myself. As the Spanish were taking control of the south and moving up north, I think they escaped, right here, to this area. And if you Google Earth today, there's you could probably find, I tried and did, I think, on my lantern, banana. Oh, you know how hard it is to sneeze and just not, keep it all in? So bless me, in case nobody said bless you. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places around this watering hole, which is, so I was thinking that if they were searching for El Dorado and 7 cities of gold, if they were escaping, I think they were heading up this way to where there's more population versus, less population in there. But that's that whole thing, which I thought was cool. And so, as part of history, it's when you're learning information that is being passed down or not being passed, it's interesting to find the things that you find, because it's like, whoa, didn't even know about that. Sorry. We'll get back that one. But I think my whole idea and point about the ability to this is that $5 gold piece that if you comment on that video link that's on the top of the chat or share that, it'd be greatly appreciated. Give yourself or somebody else a chance to win a $18.50 $5 gold piece from Forest Fens. You know, the thrill of the chase, and help spread or share that awareness to mental health and suicide prevention. I mean, you don't even have to say that. I mean, even, you know, the number 988 is a good number for those that might need to reach out. As last night, it seemed like somebody was indicating that they needed to reach out on somebody else's channel, and it was like, here's a 4-digit thing to type. Good luck. I hope you find some help. But can a person write their own story and be able to predict their future? I think it's possible. Open mind is a helpful mind. To use any and all knowledge, I think, is best suited than to pick and choose, if that makes any sense. And then so with that, I am going to sit there and pretend that I am completely lost on this train. I hope you learned something good. If not, I hope you didn't learn anything. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you learned something. Oh, t-shirt contest. Oh, I probably can't even read that. But it says, keep calm and treasure on. And so, I thank you for stopping by. Like, comment, especially we like comments because we like constructive criticism. And we look forward to reaching over 114,000 comments from unique users in order to give that coin away. But until then, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, which ain't much. Trying to train this little girl into appropriate talking because God gave her a voice. So I'll stop yelling and I'll, kind of get out of your hair and go from there. This bird is now getting in her couch. Huh, Kiwi? But like I said, till we see you on the flip side, we appreciate you stopping by. And remember, keep calm and treasure on. And a treasure doesn't necessarily mean gold. It can be anything. And we like to have it as treasured memories, especially from the people that we meet along the way. So, we bid you adieu. Kiwi, say later, Gator. No later, Gator? Okay. Well, this won't be too long of goodbyes, but goodbye, people. Until whenever. Because who knows? We ain't got no schedule, do we, Kiwi? We're in the land of the lost. We make up the world as we go along. It's our universe, huh? But we appreciate the people that come by because that's just more knowledge to be had. And we appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to shut up now. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Somebody go live, go live. Let's see who else has their ideas that they want to share. I look forward to it. Oh, wait a minute. Don't go yet. I still got one more thing. And I don't even know if... Oh, did I say it? No, I don't know. Oh, so don't go yet. I just wanted to say something. So I was hoping that... of course, everybody probably left already anyway, but that's okay. So I'm not sure if I used it, or did I? Did I say something about it? About to find out, because I'll make it quick. So, animals. Instinct versus thought. And I think animals have thought because Kiwi, like I said, I did say it, so I'll say it again. Kiwi's instinct is to find any edge, put her butt over and go to the bathroom. Now it takes thought for the bird to go beyond the edge, find her toilet, climb up to it, and use the toilet. Now, is it becoming a new trained instinct? Maybe, but it takes more thought to move from point A to point B, which is her having to go to the bathroom, to her going to the bathroom, to her going to C or D to, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I'm not gonna go to the bathroom here, I'm gonna go to the bathroom over here. So, I shared that with Jay Street, and I wonder what his thoughts are on whether or not animals think or have instinct, or if they now have both, because it's curious. I mean, if she goes to get a drink of water, yeah, she gets a drink of water from where she wants, but she also has instinct or thought to tell me she wants this type of drink versus this type of drink. So that's what I just wanted to share about that. And so that, oh, look at that pretty bird. Katie, you ain't said much today. Come here, come here. Oh, no, wrestle. She don't want to wrestle. She don't want to wrestle. So now that I'm done with that, I will say keep calm, treasure on, and we will see you all later on the flip side.